South China Karst. Time has played an important part in sculpting the distinct karst landscape in South China. These unique and expansive karst landforms are the result of millions of years of erosion of limestone bedrock.
Somewhere in China, a scientist drills into volcanic rock sealed for millions of years. A monk meditates in a cliffside cave, and a climber stands on a peak where compasses spin uselessly. Beyond the Great Wall and bustling cities lies a hidden mountain world, ancient, unexplored, and alive with secrets. Canyons with 9 climates, lakes that rise without warning, frozen air older than humans. This is not sightseeing, it's stepping into a realm where time, nature, and mystery converge. What truths remain in the mountains no one dares to climb? Mountains older than time. Let's start with something that sounds impossible. Fanjing Shan isn't just old, it's a surviving fragment of a supercontinent called Rodinia that existed over 1 billion years ago. That makes it older than any remaining mountain range on Earth. Its red sandstone contains pure quartz crystals that catch the morning light at exactly 60 degrees, creating an otherworldly glow that makes the peaks seem to pulse with energy. Standing here at dawn feels less like watching a sunrise and more like witnessing the planet wake up. The isolation has created something remarkable. 95% of the insect species found on Fanjing Shan exist nowhere else on the planet. 68% couldn't survive anywhere else, even if you tried to move them. At 7,000 feet, sound intensity drops by more than half, making it one of the quietest natural places on Earth. Travelers who reach the summit describe hearing only their own breath and heartbeat, their own existence confirmed in absolute stillness. Within clouds and stone, you feel your presence in a way modern life never allows. But Fanjing Shan is just the beginning. Mount Song in central China contains sedimentary layers formed over 2.5 billion years ago, preserving Earth's earliest geological memory. Within just 15 miles, scientists have identified 7 successive tectonic eras, a natural museum of planetary history stacked in stone. A seismic survey in 2017 revealed buried foundations 65 feet below the surface, traces of an ancient civilization lost to time. Archaeologists found a spiral-carved stone believed to be an astronomical symbol that remains undeciphered to this day. Mount Taishan, formed over 500 million years from metamorphic rock dating to the Cambrian era, was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987.
In 1987, it was the first Chinese site to be put on the list of World Natural and Cultural Heritage Sites by UNESCO.
For 3,000 years, emperors performed rituals at its summit, regarding it as the meeting point of heaven and earth. These mountains don't just sit on the earth. They are the earth living records of everything our planet has survived, still holding secrets we're only beginning to decode, where the earth still breathes. Now imagine standing on ground that's still alive. Arkan Chai River lies within an ancient volcanic zone shaped by more than 30 eruptions over the last 10,000 years. Volcanic ash layers over 6 feet thick colored the soil gray and slowed vegetation for millennia. Scientists have recorded magnetic tremors lasting several minutes during rainy seasons, evidence that deep magma may still shift beneath the crust. Geothermal springs send warm steam rising through snow and pine, letting visitors feel heat within freezing air. In that remote, untouched world, the river endures as a quiet, living land breathing with the hidden pulse of the earth. Tengchong takes this further. It's the only young volcanic region in western China still showing strong geothermal activity, positioned directly on the collision line where the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates meet. More than 50 dormant volcanoes retain underground pressure beneath the surface, occasionally trembling as a rare, sleeping hotspot on Earth. In the 1,980 seconds, scientists discovered heat-resistant microbes surviving above 230 degrees Fahrenheit among the oldest life forms ever known. Water from the hot springs contains such high levels of boron and silica that it leaves white mineral rings called volcanic salt circles. Locals continue a New Year ritual called the Mother Earth Steam Bath, catching geothermal vapor with bamboo leaves for luck and health. This is a breathing land where you can see, hear, and touch heat rising from deep inside the planet. Yandang Mountains reveal an even stranger secret. This ancient volcanic range, over 120 million years old, still shows traces of eruption in its rhyolite cliffs, The region spans about 175 square miles with weak magnetic fields that often distort navigation, creating a puzzling environment. Inside volcanic layers, geologists found gas bubbles containing ancient air from the Cretaceous period, a discovery found almost nowhere else in Asia. At over 3,000 feet, wind moves through narrow rock gaps, producing deep echoes known locally as the mountain's breath. Researchers noted faint moonlit glows on certain rocks caused by silica minerals embedded in ancient lava. After millions of years of isolation, Yandang remains a living landscape where nature and geology still keep their deepest secrets, where heaven meets earth. For thousands of years, Chinese emperors, monks, and poets have climbed these peaks, seeking something beyond the physical world. Mount Wudang in northwestern Hubei spans over 115 square miles and is regarded as one of China's most sacred mountains. It's the birthplace of Taoism and Tai Chi.
This is Wudang. It's one of the 4 sacred mountains of Taoism. Now, Taoism is China's homegrown philosophical religion. It dates back about 2,000 years, and Tao or Dao in Chinese means the method, the path.
Where the balance of yin and yang is embodied in every movement of clouds and peaks. Ancient structures over 1,000 years old hide among pine forests and cliffs, symbolizing harmony between humanity and the cosmos. From above, the mountains, temples, and clouds form a vast ink painting often called the divine roof of heaven. Visiting Mount Wudang, you walk along suspended corridors through cloud forests, touch ancient roof tiles, and feel the wind breathe with the mountain. Mount Wutai rises about 10,100 feet with 5 flat peaks standing among clouds, regarded as China's most sacred Buddhist mountain.
It is one of the 4 great Buddhist sanctuaries in China. 68 temples are found in the mountains.
The region spans over 1,100 square miles with a cold, misty climate that keeps everything in constant mystery. Legend says the Bodhisattva Manjushri once appeared here within 5 colored clouds, making it a pilgrimage site for more than 1,500 years. During winter nights, temperatures drop below -20 degrees Fahrenheit, and snow and wind turn the mountain into a realm of silence. Ancient cliffs carved with Buddhist scriptures and poems lie among pine forests and drifting mist, evoking a timeless world. Though recognized as a World Heritage Site, Mount Wutai remains remote, a sanctuary where people rediscover peace within nature's quiet. Mount Lu stands in northern Jiangxi between the Yangtze River and Lake Poyang, where rivers, lakes, and mountains merge into a grand natural formation. Rising over 4,000 feet, it was inscribed as a UNESCO World Cultural and Natural Heritage Site in 1996.
Mount Lushan is a prominent tourist destination in summer and has been listed as a World Heritage Site by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization since 1996.
Over 70% of the mountain is covered by forest, its mist and humidity earning it the title "the mountain hidden in clouds." It once served as China's cultural, spiritual, and scholarly hub where monks, Taoists, and poets sought retreat and reflection. More than 4,000 ancient poems were composed here, turning the mountain into a living archive of Chinese artistic spirit. Leaving Mount Lu, you realize it's not just natural heritage, it's a meeting point of beauty, wisdom, and the human soul. Mount Putuo rises only about 950 feet above sea level, yet within the vast expanse of sea and sky, it radiates a calm sanctity as if from another world. It's one of the 4 sacred mountains of Chinese Buddhism, devoted to the Bodhisattva Guanyin and revered as a pilgrimage site for more than 1,000 years. The ancient legend of Potalaka names this island as Guanyin's dwelling between heaven and water, a sacred myth made real. Standing by the shore, you hear distant chants mingling with waves, smell forest pine and incense drifting through salty air. Though small in scale, it once sheltered around 4,000 monks, leaving every visitor touched by its silence, faith, and timeless peace. Landscapes that defy belief. Some of these places look like they were designed by artists, not geology. Mount Tianmen rises about 4,984 feet, famous for its massive arch piercing the summit called the Gate of Heaven. The natural arch stands 430 feet high and 187 feet wide, symbolizing the union of earth and sky, formed over 200 million years ago. The mountain's limestone core contains ancient marine sediments, proving this region once lay beneath an ocean. Hosting more than 3,000 plant species, its primeval forests above 4,900 feet blanket the slopes in eternal green. Here you can walk across a 60-meter glass walkway clinging to a cliff 1,400 meters high.
Shaohuashan Mountain is a height of its height is about 2,000 meters above sea, and right now I am on a special section of the glass pathway on the Shaohuashan Mountain,
staring into the vast abyss below. In 2011, Tianmen introduced China's first glass skywalk, marking the dawn of international adventure tourism. The stone forest in Yunnan features thousands of limestone pillars rising straight from the ground, creating a landscape like a fossilized forest. These formations began as an ancient seabed over 270 million years ago, later lifted and sculpted by erosion into towering rock spires reaching more than 130 feet high. It stands as one of the world's most complete karst formations, pillars, mushrooms, and towers that seem impossible. The Yi people call it the Kingdom of Living Stones.
Bluish-gray rocky peaks tower high above the ground, and the mystery of their origins is hidden right inside. These fossilized shells and corals are from 270 million years ago.
Tied to the legend of Ashima, a girl turned to stone symbolizing love and freedom. Geologists describe Shilin as the DNA of karst terrain, where every stone preserves a record of Earth's transformation across millions of years. In 2007, UNESCO recognized it as a World Natural Heritage Site. Zhangye Dangxia lies on the northern edge of the Loess Plateau with an average elevation of about 4,000 feet, covering nearly 200 square miles almost entirely uninhabited. Historically, this region was a natural forbidden zone where fierce, dry winds and sharp terrain made survival nearly impossible. Some cliffs rise over 1,500 feet, formed from ancient sandstone, compressed over millions of years, creating layered colors in perfect alignment: red, orange, yellow, and white striped across the landscape. NASA satellite images from 2008 recorded it as having the strongest spectral reflection in Asia, visible clearly from space. Chinese scientists confirmed that only 3% of the entire zone can bear human weight, while the rest remains extremely fragile and easily shattered. After millions of years of erosion, Zhangye Dangxia still retains its vivid hues, standing as proof of the planet's enduring strength. Wuling Yuan in Hunan province spans about 150 square miles, composed of marine rock dating back over 380 million years. Each pillar stands between 650 and 1,200 feet, covered in moss forest and mist, forming a self-contained biological system. Fog settles more than 300 days a year, maintaining humidity for thousands of plant species, including ancient forms still unstudied. Beneath the surface, an underground river network extends for dozens of miles, harboring primitive life forms yet to be identified by science. Wuling Yuan endures as a separate world, a living monument to the Earth's geological power and its extraordinary capacity for life, pushing the limits. Yulong Snow Mountain rises about 18,360 feet, forming a chain of 13 snowy peaks across southwestern China. It's one of the rare low-latitude glaciers where ancient ice layers survive for thousands of years in thin air. For many travelers, climbing this mountain is both a physical and spiritual journey, known as the quest to touch the southern sky. On its slopes, over 70% of the area has no mobile signal, leaving climbers feeling completely detached from the modern world. Visitors can ride a cable car to nearly 14,783 feet to witness snow and ice floating among clouds. Many who reach it say time seems to stop as sound, breath, and heartbeat fade into frozen silence. Mount Siguniang in western Sichuan lies within the Quanglai range of the Tibetan Plateau, about 137 miles from Chengdu, symbolizing western China's raw grandeur. The area combines glacial valleys, ancient ice rivers, primeval, difficult to climb, they're forbidden entirely. Meili Snow Mountain is the only range in China with peaks, forests, and snow-covered cliffs, recognized by UNESCO as a World Biosphere Reserve in 2006. Sitting at the collision zone between the Indian and Eurasian plates, its terrain keeps rising, a visible force of Earth's living tectonics. The valleys below glow with turquoise glacial lakes, dark fir forests, and black pines forming a rare palette of stone and wilderness. With an elevation gap of over 11,000 feet between summit and valley, Siguniang is known as China's living geomorphological laboratory. Standing before it, you feel not mere awe but reverence, as if facing nature's own temple carved by time and creation. The Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon is the deepest geological cut on Earth, stretching about 313 miles with depth exceeding 19,700 feet, carved by an ancient river through the Himalayas over millions of years. It holds 9 stacked climate zones from tropical rainforest to eternal snow, displaying the planet's full climatic cycle within a narrow space. The main river curves around a giant mountain, then twists sharply, creating immense pressure and erosion that folds entire rock layers. Some sections show vertical reliefs close to 18,000 feet, something never recorded in any other canyon on Earth. Because of isolation and harsh climate, large parts remain uncharted, still beyond human knowledge and exploration. Standing inside, you feel the cold from the rock, the echo of water, and the ancient weight of the planet surrounding you. And then there's Everest Komolangma, meaning Holy Mother of the Universe, the highest peak on Earth at 29,032 feet, standing between China and Nepal. The air near its summit holds only 1/3 the oxygen of sea level, turning every breath into a struggle between endurance and collapse. Formed over 60 million years ago by the collision of tectonic plates, it rises in massive ice walls and jagged cliffs like fractures in the planet itself. The death zone above 26,000 feet is where oxygen levels drop too low for human survival. More than 200 climbers rest forever on its frozen slopes, silent witnesses to humanity's reach beyond its limits. The avalanche of April 18, 2014 claimed dozens of lives.
This disaster on Mount Everest, 16 mountain guides died when an avalanche swept down over a climbing route,
reminding the world that Everest's surreal beauty is inseparable from the raw force of nature. The Forbidden Mountains. Some mountains in China aren't just difficult to climb, they're forbidden entirely. Meili Snow Mountain is the only range in China with peaks over 22,000 feet that no human has ever climbed. Gravity readings reveal a strong, positive anomaly inside the massive, suggesting an ancient magma chamber still warm miles beneath the crust. A climbing ban issued in 2001 followed a deadly avalanche that killed 17 Japanese climbers.
An avalanche on Alaska's Mount McKinley may have killed 4 Japanese climbers,
Seen as a sacred warning from the mountain itself. At around 16,000 feet, negative ion density and thin air form a natural electric field, rarely recorded anywhere on Earth. Biologists discovered unique plants and fungi growing only on Meili's frozen rocks, adapted to extreme cold and isolation that exists nowhere else. Facing Meili at dawn, one feels profound silence, the quiet pulse of Earth breathing beneath eternal snow. Mount Ganga rises from the eastern edge of the Tibetan Plateau, reaching more than 24,790 feet, where geology, ice, and eternal mist converge. The massif is a relic of ancient plate collisions, forming over 150 modern glaciers and cliffs carved by millions of years of erosion. Beneath its surface, basalt mixed with iron distorts compass readings and disrupts instruments, creating a naturally unstable magnetic zone. During the 20th century, a measuring error once led explorers to declare Ganga the world's highest mountain, a legend born from miscalculation. In winter, temperatures plunge, ice cracks echo through the valleys, and wind across the snow beats like the pulse of the mountain. For climbers, this is more than a test of endurance. It's a meeting point between humanity and the absolute limit of nature. The Kunlun Mountains formed over 50 million years ago from the collision between the Indian and Eurasian plates, shaping one of the oldest joints of the Tibetan Plateau. Ice cores extracted from the glaciers contain ancient viruses never recorded before, confirming the long isolation of this high-altitude ecosystem. At about 13,000 feet, the surface is covered by pale lichens reflecting harsh light under dry, thin air, almost devoid of oxygen. Since the year 2000, meteorological data show a steady rise in humidity and glaciers melting twice as fast as in the 1,980 seconds, marking the fastest ice retreat in northern China. The range continues to uplift by 1/10 of an inch each year, driven by deep tectonic movement beneath the crust. This landscape stands as a natural frontier, where land, ice, and time remain in constant motion across the northern horizon. Mountains that breathe, Mount Laoshan is known as the Mountain of Eternal Fog, hidden under thick clouds for more than 200 days every year. Humidity stays above 95%, keeping stones and air cold and heavy with moisture throughout the seasons. At the summit, cosmic radiation is about 12% higher than on the plains, giving travelers a faint sense of unreality. Along the slopes, over 1,700 mossy stone steps twist through forests, where echoes vanish and direction fades. More than 70% of the mountain has no permanent residents, leaving its nights drowned in total darkness and silence. With its isolation, constant mist, and near-silent air, Mount Laoshan stands as a symbol of solitude and reflection in the modern world. Mount Eme formed over 250 million years ago on the ancient Emeshan magma belt, the remnant of one of Earth's most powerful basaltic eruptions. Beneath the mountain lies a layer of red clay rich in iron and weakly magnetic basalt, causing compasses to deviate nearly 8 degrees in certain areas. During the 9th century, monks built bamboo water clocks to measure prayer intervals, among the earliest timekeeping devices in China. Inside the dense mist, hikers feel moisture gather on their hair and clothes within 10 minutes of walking through the forest. Moss and lichen absorb echoes so that wind, steps, and breathing merge into a continuous resonance along the trails. For many climbers, Mount Eme marks the meeting point of endurance and faith, a realm where nature and silence coexist beyond the reach of sound. Mount Heng contains a tree over 1,200 years old, hollow inside yet still alive, known locally as the heartless breathing tree. A 2019 study found the mountain's natural seismic frequency, meaning its base literally breathes slower than Earth itself. Its geological structure is known as the backbone of southern China, stretching more than 90 miles and appearing like a massive rolling wave from above. Up close, the stacked stone layers resemble Earth's skin, showing the uplift pressure and fractures shaped through hundreds of millions of years. Mount Heng is a place where people can feel the planet's living energy, where earth, wind, fire, and breath unite into the rhythm of existence. We've walked through mountains older than life itself, peered into caves holding air from the age of dinosaurs, and seen forests that hide species science has yet to name. And yet, for every peak we've explored, countless secrets remain: hidden valleys, frozen summits, and shadowed canyons untouched by human eyes. These mountains don't ask to be conquered, they demand to be witnessed, understood, and respected. So the question lingers: what mysteries are still waiting in the hidden corners of this ancient world? For those brave enough to follow where few have dared to tread,